They can see and hear you. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Known Realms Tolesh. Before we dive into tonight's chapter, let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with Angie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angie, Agonethetic on the internet. You can find me, like I said, on the internet. And since this is coming out on Sunday, I hope you guys have gone ahead and checked out our first episode of Godkiller Sinner's Sacrifice, which came out yesterday. Not yesterday now, but yesterday in the future. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Come watch us again next Saturday.
Do it or else. Thank you, Angie. Lou.
I'm Lou. I play Dolores. We both use she, her pronouns, and you can find me everywhere at Luzelia_art or dash on Blue Sky. That's all.
Thank you very much. David.
Hey, yo, everybody. My name is David, and my pronouns are he, him, and I play Whistle, Hobgoblin fighter. Also he, him pronouns. You can catch me here as Whistle, and then in the new year, you might catch me in some other projects here on Tales Archived. And then, what else do I do? Stealthy Elf Productions is where I am the game master of several Pathfinder 2nd edition games. And I gotta say it, because it keeps hitting me every week and I don't make the pun. I am ready to dive into this session. All right, I'm done.
Wow.
Inspiration point for David.
I'm at max. Can I save it? Give it to me later.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, Button.
Hello, I'm Button. My pronouns are they, them. I'm Bluebluebutton on social media. And when I'm not here, you can find me over on Stealthy Elf Productions in the Unearthed Inheritance campaign where I play Cressida, and in the, what are we called? New World Rebellion campaign where I play Amanita, a little mushroom. And find me and stuff in January. Here.
Here. Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Alec. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all places on the internet at Tales Archived. I am the Archivist here for Known Realms Tolesh. I will also be captaining another ship here in January. I produce Godkiller Sinner's Sacrifice, so you can catch every Saturday. If you don't, I'll kill you. And when I'm not here, I'm over at Stealthy Elf Productions, playing as Finn Reese in Heroes of Asteria Unearthed Inheritance, and I am a disembodied voice in Heroes of Asteria New World Rebellion. We pick up as the party is making their way into the Larwith Library. You guys are currently within this expansive dome, the center of which is sort of this central walking way, as there's a fountain in the center of this library. You're sort of separated by 3 ringed floors. It's not the largest, most expansive library in the world, but it serves the purposes of the Larwith Academy. I'd say that the Lore Keep in Iothalor, for reference, is much bigger. This is a more personalized library here in Larwith for the student body here, focusing more on Divanthir, that level of history, as well as Drukameshian history. So you guys are walking in together. Free access to the restricted section thanks to Nikolai and the unnamed librarian who gave you a really great comedic end to our session last week. The stage is yours.
So, to the restricted section.
Pull up there. Not sure how much I can linger here, seeing as me and paper don't get along very well. She kind of shakes off her hair. Literal fire.
You're going to take an inspiration point for that. That was really good.
Is that what you were excited
That's my bit. I was like, okay, not only does she not give a shit about books, she's like, I don't need to incur any more debt. And this is a recipe for a fucking disaster.
The funny thing is, Dolores, is that you, in this moment, know for a fact that these tomes, due to pretty simple abjuration magic, are protected from flames.
They all have fire shield.
Yeah, every single fire Genasi cannot walk into a library.
You actually see 2 of them down the hall.
It's like
Get them freely opening reading books.
Yeah, it looks like they can. What's different about you?
Sweetheart, I'm not your run-of-the-mill fire genasi. I got a little extra spice. Don't forget that.
That seems true. Would you perhaps be interested in studying perhaps the effects of what you've been through? I think picking up the Lazuli.
Yeah.
Add it to the
Salad.
Damn it.
That's a Lord.
Wait, how many times? I would say at
we're
least
at 5.
5.
I was going to say 7.
You can,
Okay,
no,
I'm
we're,
getting-
we're at 5.
That was my first one.
I need
Roll a
this.
d6 and just take that number.
Lou's done it
Yeah.
twice. I've done it once.
You've done it
I
twice.
just did it.
That's what I'm saying. Lou did it twice. I've done it once. Button did it once. And then there was another one where Lou referred to Dolores as Whistle.
Yeah.
and that
I'm counting.
Incredible.
that counted toward the tally, apparently, because David proudly proclaimed, add it to the tally.
Yep.
And if you know anything about me, is that if anybody proudly proclaims something, who am I to tell them otherwise?
Oh,
You're level 20
Oh,
now.
level 20, level
I was just about to say it.
I knew you were going to, so I beat you to it.
I was thinking, what's the most proud way I can say this?
Listen, if
Knowing
you-
that Dolores is. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No,
Alec.
please go ahead.
I'm changing the subject back.
I was going to continue the dumb bit. Please continue forward.
Knowing that Dolores is cagey about having been affected by a Feywild rift, Echinacea is not sure how much of it she wants to say aloud, but that's what they're referring to studying.
Mm-hmm. I will say, given that, Echinacea, you see Io just go and elbow Dolores really hard. Just like, yeah, you should be looking into that. It's almost like they're saying something I've been thinking for the last 4 months.
So, why would I look when there's such skilled researchers standing right in front of me?
Oh, if you want me to
I'm a very
research
slow
that-
reader. If you could, she does do like really big, like puppy dog eyes.
They don't work.
What?
I'm not,
They don't get to say
edgy-
if they work on Echinacea.
No, I don't.
The edgiest person ever doing puppy dog eyes.
hey guys,
like,
you
sure.
know Doomsday from DC Comics? Could you imagine him going, and then, oh, I killed Superman. Oh, you know what? Let him get away with it.
Well, like I decapitated someone last night.
Literally last night. Quite literally last night, you saw Dolores murder 4 people.
I need this thing.
I mean, I can do
Dolores-
more research. However, I am going to be prioritizing what Whistle's come here for, as we have things that he needs to do tonight. And I have done research into the Feywild bleeds and rifts, but not into. None of my research has mentioned the magical effects that I've seen you sort of release into the world, if that's what you were doing last night during the fight.
Right. Maybe I could pay some intern.
I will do it. I'm just saying that I have a list.
That's fine.
I can do it.
It's pretty low priority.
No, that's not what I'm saying either.
I gotta see a man about a performance, so.
Are you back in the ring tonight?
No, this is our connection to the hopeful connection to the king. Supposedly, allegedly, we'll see.
No rest for the wicked.
Actually, I think I sleep pretty well.
Okay, so Dolores, do you depart? Yeah? Okay.
I'm going to the Crimson Mask to talk to Milo.
Okay. You head off. You guys see Dolores leave as Io's just she does this. She's not one for academics.
Can't imagine.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Learning is the best. Whistle, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the books aren't going to help her when someone's coming at her with an axe, though. So.
Casimir has a thought and then promptly
unless it's a shield spell.
Shut the fucks.
Shield scroll.
Fuck up.
Technically,
he's like,
actually, technically, Echinacea's book would help her.
That's true. Some books.
Oh, you're saying her as in Dolores. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I got them.
Okay. So things that I want to look into. They turn back to the reference librarian.
Shit.
I would love biographies. If you could direct me or even provide me with call numbers for the Dragon Ios, the Phoenix Eos, Lord Vendrick of the Divanthir Empire. The Echinacea rattles off a laundry list.
He does sort of lean forward. Biographies on a dragon and a phoenix would be difficult. I can give you a lot of historical and first-hand accounts, but a biography, I don't think we have anything quite like that. But a biography of Lord Vendrick, that we do have. Gives you numbers for those, and sort of points you in the directions of those. Anything else?
Alloy-born history and mythology, the fall of the Divanthir Empire, including cragworms and chaos surges, and then the history of Warforged and Automata.
Mm-hmm. Here you are. You're given like a stack of numbers. Yeah. All right, well, I love historical study. All right. Who's next?
Love this guy. Azio just smiles at him and says, "What's your name?"
Brenton.
Brenton. Hi, Brenton.
Hello.
So do we ask you in regards to the restricted section, or is there someone up there that we would have to ask?
You would speak to the individual up there.
Okay, so I won't ask specific things yet.
Why not? I would like to know.
Are you a cop? I don't actually say that. Sorry.
You a knock?
Am I?
Knock?
A cop? No.
No,
What's
I'm joking.
a cop? No, I know.
It's the intrusive thought one.
Yeah.
Zio says, "Well, if it wasn't something that serious, I wouldn't be looking in the restricted section. So I just met you, Brenton. I don't know who you are."
And I don't know who you are, stranger who came in and with their first question being about the restricted section of a library they've never been to?
Professor Nikolai is getting us in.
But Professor Nikolai did not ask the question, now did he? Onwards and forwards.
Okay, I will say, any books on the effects of Divanthir magic on the elemental chaos?
Those will be points specifically to chaos surges, the same numbers that Echinacea has for those. You'll find it in that same section.
Chaos surges.
Mm-hmm.
And technological advancements and their relations to nature.
Sort of, you see as you'll flip over. Ecological accounts, technological, same section.
Chaos surges. Okay. And then looks over to Echinacea and says, whatever information you can find about Vendrick, I'll probably want to also hear and learn. And then what Zio is trying to keep to specifically the restricted section is
Kata.
anything to do with Kata.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Makes sense to me.
Everything I learn, all of you will know.
And so are we, so obviously Dolores is gone. I'm just like,
We'll still stick with Echinacea.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Those topics are perfect.
Dink, and then we got Kaelin, Dorlin, and Casimir, who are kind of here. Casimir puts a hand up. I'll try and find wild magic phenomenon, magic binding to a person, see if I can't do my own research.
You should go meditate. You should do it. You should.
I'll go be productive and out of everyone's way.
It's very sweet, Casimir. I think Dolores will really appreciate it.
Who's to know what Dolores will appreciate? She said I could hash my issues with Warren out in a cage. So I'm not...
That's how she, I think, would do it.
Well, given the wise words of Whistle, it was not about doing the right thing. It was about making myself feel better, and that is not the way I wish to approach it. Whistle, thank you, and I apologize for my shittiness.
Casimir, I have a question. I'm sorry, Whistle. Were you going to say something?
No, Whistle's just gonna kind of just give grunt and nod at Casimir. Lovingly. He's going to lovingly grunt.
Casimir does lean forward. I will not cast Misty Step on you again. I know how personal of a spot that is for you.
The grunt stops being quite as loving. Bad memories. Yeah.
I do apologize. And then, yes, you had a question for me.
Are you looking into your specific topic only because of Dolores, or is it also in relations to you?
It has nothing to do with me.
Oh well, I thought maybe because of the magical effects of the.
My abilities weren't born directly from a rift or bleed, so there's not much intersection there in the research.
Got it. So the thought that came immediately to Zio's mind when hearing that, the magical, what was the thing that he said exactly? I don't know if you remember your own language.
The binding of magical effects from something akin to a rift or a bleed. I see the thread you're following, but for me being clear, there's no...
He's just following rift.
He's just following rift and bleed, yeah.
Got it. Then Zio will also say, if you find any information on magical binding through other means aside from just rift, will you let me know?
I will mark it down. Yes.
Okay. And then Zio looks at Echinacea and says, maybe we can, if Casimir finds anything, we can maybe write to Illenbell to kind of help with Wit's own stuff.
And Casimir's too, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Given that the Tetheriums were invented here, it stands to reason there could be some sort of crossover, Casimir?
There could be. There's a potential.
I don't know, though, because I don't know how it came to be.
Well, I'll be looking into it, maybe through finding anything on Kata, so I'll also keep an eye on it.
Yes, if there's anything that does... If a Venn diagram is created, I will make that known. I promise.
I like it. What's a Venn diagram?
When two circles make this.
Overlap.
Yes.
Casimir's stressed. Echinacea will give him a hug.
Archmage of the Magus Arcana. And he walks away. Panic attack ensuing. Kaelin sort of, I'm going to go check out some books on recent Zendrixian history. So I will be around if you need me.
Okay. I can't wait to hear what you learn.
You will hear it first, most likely. He's also kind of shitting his britches. I think he hasn't actively looked into recent historical events, so that being kind of the forefront of his mind, that's scary. So he just kind of Dorland's like, I'll accompany. Kaelin is appreciative of the company.
Is there a bookstore attached to this library?
Yeah, I'll say so.
Tell you what, if you two are traveling together, perhaps while you walk past that space, Dorland, you could pick out an empty tome that you like for the purposes of wizardry.
He twirls a mustache he does not have. Perfect. All right.
I forgot you did that.
I'll be sure you get this image smack dab in your mind of like a preteen Dorlin from the memories you've received in the past of him just going
with the way that like rose petals emerge from his hair. I imagine rose petals appear out of nowhere and just drift on the way.
He's so cute and
silly. Oh, you're such an angel.
Oh, that's you. All right, we'll be back. I will think I will look very intentionally for a book because I'm gonna be a wizard. All right, W wizard.
I don't like it.
Wizard.
You're okay.
Wizard.
Whistle.
Okay, bye guys.
Loser, double loser, wizard. Bye, Dorlin.
They head off. Okay.
Bye, Dawn.
Goodbye, Whistle. Oh wow, everybody's really stupid today, and that's because of me.
I love how Io and Echinacea are similar, and then Zio and Dorlin are similar.
There's definitely an like a dopey
a Venn diagram,
dopey overlap.
An overlap.
Not two circles doing this.
We're gonna have to blur that out, man.
Hey.
All right.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Future Alec, please do a close up on this. And he loves me. He's gonna. We don't necessarily call this scissoring. It's kind of like teacupping. Anyway.
It's cupping.
Anyway.
No, it's cupping something else.
You okay?
We're single-handedly killing Angie because they're sick right now. You got
that was
water?
Actually 2 hands.
I'll die happy. It's crazy. Okay. All right. So, research party, you guys are heading up to do said research. And we'll quick check in with Dolores. As for the ease of time, we're playing a shorter session tonight. You make your way into the Crimson Mask, and make my way, and you see as Milo's kind of cleaning tabletops, and the establishment isn't open right now. It's early in the day, but you know your way in. What does that way in look like for Dolores when the front doors are locked?
I bet it's through their little kitchen door. And she probably has a special knock that only Milo knows. I don't know if he'd trust her with a key?
No, fuck no, you would not trust her with a key. Absolutely
and
not.
She doesn't feel like breaking a window this time.
Yeah, you do your little like sequential knock and you just hear the window is open. Please enter my domicile.
She just kind of lifts and slips into the window, very cat-like.
What do you want?
Wanted to follow up on a few of those leads.
Well, there were only a few of them. Have you made a decision, or?
I want to do that big performance with the big hot shot. What's her name?
Miss Dimmelt. Mrs. Dimmelt. Yeah, that's not for a couple months there, girl.
Do you think she knows the king?
I have it on good authority that she does indeed know the king. They had a luncheon the morning before she came to, this fine establishment you set foot in now. I mean,
does the king take private performance audiences?
Now I need you to be perfectly clear. What kind of performance are you talking about? Because with the way in which you are speaking, I am becoming less and less confident that I know what you are talking about.
The ones in which... She does start laughing. I'm not good at being shady, Milo. I just want money, and my friends want connections.
How do you see yourself with the king getting that money?
on a big shiny costume and put on a great show.
You're really not helping me understand what kind of show you are talking about. Are you... Well, that... Okay. Are you fighting or are you fucking?
We're fighting, of course.
Got it. Understood. I was going to say
But
a
maybe-
fists involved, but that would not have made anything any clearer anyway.
Milo.
Listen, people are disgusting and perverted, okay? I don't partake. My wife is celibate. I am so then as well. Fighting. Might be a hard spell. A hard sell
Got
for
more
the king.
performance than fighting. Something orchestrated, flashy.
Do
Less
you know
death,
how to
more
play music?
Daz. Train. Know a thing or two. You know?
Dolores, why do you want to get into the Scandalore Castle?
Told you, my friends need connections and they save my ass. The only reason why I have the coin to not be drowning in my own debt. And I'm curious.
How much blowback will I, Milo Markovovich, receive from your entry into the castle?
Abjuration against fire does the castle have? Equal amounts, I think, is the relation to that
King
degree.
Rorus Scandalore is paranoid. Have you not seen the wall around our jewel of a city?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so imagine it's defended against literally everything.
I'm just asking.
You're asking a whole lot of nothing.
Expecting.
How do
I'm
you-
just asking to see if there was a performance that could be arranged.
I can put the word out there. A performance, musical or dance in nature.
I could get a poster commissioned, make it big and flashy with lions.
Okay, let's put it this way. I'll talk to some of my connections in the Scandalore Castle.
Mm-hmm.
I will see if they're looking to put on any kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
Does this have anything to do with the meeting you had with Vincent Morrisov yesterday? Maybe. You're really putting your head on the chopping block for people you just met, kid. In literal and figurative ways.
Milo, they can fix riffs.
What? How?
There's
only
this
way-
thing called, a fucking, what's it called? Some kind of machine?
A rag war machine? They got a fucking rag war machine?
Shh, yes.
Why'd you
How do
shush
know
me?
that is?
Because I am an educated man who operates a business in a technologically advanced city. That's how I know what I know, okay? God, people think I'm just dumb fucking Milo. I got some redeeming qualities, okay? Some, not a lot.
But I saw them heal someone who had been hurt by a rift. They were stuck in time. And then they weren't. And they were perfectly fine. Hadn't aged a day, even a second. Maybe they could help me.
That's all you... Well, I know that's real important to you. Well, I'm going to go against my better judgment and tell you something you need to hear. If you can fix it, chase it. That makes you one day closer of getting the fuck out of here. You don't need to spend the rest of your life in this place. Doing this.
I heard Echinacea talk about how the Crimson Mask was years ago.
Yeah.
Would you ever want it to be that way again?
I think if it was that way again, it would have to be owned by someone other than myself.
Why's that?
Because I want someone to do it better.
What would you do instead?
I'd retire. I go to some place where it's sunny all the time, I got sand between my feet, and I'm drinking with my wife. I don't go to the fights for a reason, Dolores. I don't like seeing nobody get bloodied up. Least of all you. Sophia, on the other hand, crazy bitch got it coming. But you're made for something more. So if they can fix it, chase it, get the fuck out of here. What are you waiting for?
Feel it. All right. And she gives Milo a big hug. And will you take any of my money? I know I've got debt with you. Please just let me help. I know last night you didn't accept anything, but...
I ain't gonna accept it now. I got something for you, actually. Sit down.
She plunks down, and it's, again, very loud. She's much denser than she looks. Like, Cherry snaps.
You just hear as Milo kind of looks up the stairs. Honey, could you bring it down? You just kind of hear wah, 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 wah. Okay, thank you. And you see a similarly aged halfling woman, very curvaceous, not dissimilar looking from Jen, just a solid vibe, but very, very like homely, very, very motherly. The exact opposite of Milo, who's kind of like subtle mob boss. She's like 50s wife. But you see she looks at Milo and his demeanor actually just, hello dear, good to see you, good. Kisses her hands very, he is the gentlest man in the world when it comes to her. And she walks up to you with this red fabric just sort of wrapped up in this almost cylindrical shape as she sort of, hello there, Dolores, it's good to see you. Kisses you on both cheek. Oh, you look good. You eating okay? You need any food before you go?
No, thank you.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Milo, go ahead and pack up one of our lunches for her, okay?
Miss Magleaf, you don't have to do that.
Yes, he does. Yes, I do. I'll be in the kitchen. You just hear him chopping shit up, and she hands you that and says, I'll give you a moment, okay?
What's this?
Open it and find out.
She carefully opens it.
And we will return to the library. Okay, guys, you're doing research. We're going to pick up with Zio first. Just to be clear, so Echinacea and Whistle are together. Mm-hmm. Zio, are you going directly to the restricted section?
I think yes.
Okay.
Just because I know there's a lot of correlation with what Echinacea is searching for, so to make better use of
maximizing time.
Yeah, maximizing time. I think Zio will kind of totter off over to the restricted section and also bring Io with.
Io will come with you.
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way up to the restricted section, which is the top of this dome, and you can see the stairway up. There are two Forge Guard standing in wait. And they're just, you have access to the restricted section. You and Io go.
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't we get like a little like what is it?
You got a little.
We handed over like two little kids.
Yeah, just there you go. One of them you see as the metal mask just sort of slicks back, and they just. All right. And the stairwell opens up, and you and I are given access.
What's the job like? You're just standing here in front of a stairwell.
The job is more than just standing here at the stairwell. It is protecting the sacred knowledge of the Divanthir Empire.
Okay, I think he's very... They? She?
Great question.
Nah, who knows? I think they're very serious about this, so thank you so much.
They nod. You head up. Okay. And you see a desk with a separate reference librarian. This femme, not nearly as old as Breton downstairs, but this a young femme human presenting individual who just sort of leans forward. Hello, Io. Pleasure to see you. And this must be Zio. Hello. How are we?
Do you know them? Oh, hello.
I do. Yeah, we have some classes together. This is Juliet.
Juliet. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Shakes their hand.
Welcome to the restricted section. There's nobody else in here. What can I help you find?
Well, Juliet, I am looking for possible journals or books or recordings, anything to do with a mage called Kata.
High Mage Kata.
If that's the only one.
She is indeed the only one. Okay, so you're looking for personal accounts written in her word or others?
Her word, others.
Okay.
Yes.
From our record logs, you can go ahead and take a look at this section here. Looks like we do have a few journal entries from High Mage Kata herself.
Wow, okay. And so record entries from her. Is there anything in here to do with people working with her as well, or anything?
There are mentions of Lord Vendrick and a group known as the Union of the Tranquil in her personal journal entries.
Yes. Okay, it's in her entries. Okay. Anything outside of her entries about the Union of the Tranquil?
I can get some books together for you if you'd like.
Yes, please. And then I'll start looking at her stuff.
Okay. She gives you the numbers for the journal entries, and you make your way over. You kind of see this like encased in glass or these pieces of parchment. Lucky you brought Io with you because you can't read Orthrin.
Oh, thank God.
But Io is the only person other than Whistle who can.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well,
Is
Nikolai too. Yes, that's David, put the knife down. David's like, he can do it. Don't talk negatively about my husband.
Yeah.
If you talk about him at all, talk about him correct.
Put some respect on his name.
And you know what? For that, David, there is your inspiration point.
I haven't used it yet. Hold it.
Hold it? What do you mean, hold it? Why am I? Hold on. Okay.
You're having a backlog of inspiration points for David.
This is crazy. Angie, so Zio, you see as Io kind of picks these up. Wow, these are thousands of years old.
You can read them?
Yeah, I've learned Orthrin.
Whoa. Is this a recent development? Isn't it like a dead language?
It is very, well, no, it's not dead. There are many of Divanthir mages around that use it. Think about the use of linguistics in current magic. Wizards use language all the time, and they use languages that they know. Divanthir mages keep this language alive through everything they do.
I've heard Whistle use it before.
Whistle? Well, that is a development from our time together. Whistle, you very clearly did not know Orthrin when you went into Larwood. You technically learned it when you got the Divanthier transformation class, so you didn't know it for a bit.
Yep, I cheated.
Yeah, it's that, or Io was very kind and did the homework for you.
That's crazy.
Probably also too.
I
was too busy plotting the assassin.
The midway mute. So Io grabs these. They look like they're not sheets of parchment. They are sheets of metal that are sort of indented akin to braille. Orthrin is this raised language that can both be read and felt quite physically. So you see as Io looks like there are 3 specific journal entries here. One of them speaks directly after the successful creation of the Tetheriums. And these are ones that I have written down. Okay. The Union of the Tranquil and I have achieved what was once thought impossible, an artifact capable of containing the harmful forces born of the elemental chaos, the forces threatening our world. Today, I stood alongside the brightest minds and hearts as the first prototype of the Tetherium hummed to life. The air shimmered, alive with arcane energy harnessed from the elemental chaos itself, yet subdued as a wild beast tamed into quiet submission. Never did I think that the magics of ore and element could work so well together. The collaboration has been nothing short of extraordinary. Each member of the Union brought their own brilliance. Helitus with his unparalleled grasp of warding magics, Kaletra and Glacia working in tandem with their innovative conduits forged from void steel and storm glass, and of course the stoic Istrus, whose precise recordings and manipulations of chaos surges helped inspire the Tetherium's core design elements. And this is all written. I'm going to provide this. We worked as one, our disparate magics and sciences woven together like an expertly practiced orchestra. And to think this is only the beginning. If successful, these Tetheriums will form a network across the primordial current, holding back chaos surges and shielding not just our lands, but perhaps the entire planet. I dare not hope too boldly, but this invention may be our answer to chaos itself. How proud I feel knowing the Empire shall stand strong under Lord Vendrick's rule, safeguarded by our shield instead of weapons. That's journal entry 1. Journal entry 2 is about 30 to 40 years later. Okay, she doesn't visit the journal every 40 years. This is what's been recovered.
Relatable.
She's like, oh, Kata's like, damn, totally forgot my journal exists.
I was like, what?
No, it's crazy. This one has a bit more of a somber tone, as you can tell through Io's expressions. The Empire's latest triumph comes at a cost I am certain I cannot bear. Today, Vendrick unleashed his fury upon the southern mountain ranges. His decree was absolute: the eradication of the cragworms and the securing of their mountains for the Empire. The army moved with his violent resolve, and I fear for their lives as much as I fear for the worms. It is no secret that the cragworms have resisted the Empire's expansion. Why wouldn't they? Yet they are magnificent, ancient beings, their scales etched with the runes of the planet itself. They are protectors of the natural world. I argued, foolishly perhaps, that they could be reasoned with, that this senseless bloodshed can be ended and we can find a way to coexist. Vendrick silenced me with a single glance, his eyes colder than I've ever known. Does he not see the peril of his path? Every strike against the worms is another chip in the fragile balance we have labored so hard to preserve. Chaos feeds on destruction, on bloodshed. How can we hold back the tide if we ourselves stir its depths? The soldiers march again tonight, and with them my prayers. I fear they march not just into battle, but to their own undoing. If I could shield them with all of my power, I would, but even my magic pales before Vendrick's will. Oh shit. Okay.
Wait, what happened?
Button was just snapping at what Kata said. Entry 3, which is the final entry. There is something amiss in Lord Vendrick. I have long suspected, but now I know with complete certainty the Blade Brother, that malevolent echo, has taken root in his heart. At first it was subtle. Vendrick's decisions grew harsher, his temper a bit quicker. He began speaking of strength as though it were the only virtue, of sacrifice as though it were the only path to peace. But now I see his gaze linger too long on the weapons of our enemies, his hand hovering too near his sword. His words twist with the promise of nothing but steel and death. The Blade Brothers' influence is insidious, and I fear it festers within our Lord. The Tetheriums were meant to be a shield, a testament to our unity and ingenuity. But now I wonder, will they serve as a tool of salvation or an instrument of this dreadful conquest? Will they hold back chaos, or will they amplify it under Vendrick's hands? I find myself dreaming of blades, shattered, bloodied, unmaking all they touch. The Blade Brother watches us. He watches Vendrick, and I am powerless to stop him. Still, I must find a way. Vendrick, the Empire, and all that has been created here depend on it. Yet where does one begin to wrest a soul from the grip of a god? And that's Kata's final entry.
I think while Io was reading out, Zio was like furiously writing everything down.
Yep.
Like asking her to pause so that he can catch up, and then like going right back at it. Like I don't think Io has ever seen Zio so focused on one task alone.
Perfect.
And once she's finished, he looks down at like the pages in front of him. And then slowly he just sort of pushes some to the side and pushes some to the other side. There's a smaller pile of where the information of the Union of the Tranquil and the mentions of the Tetheriums are, and there's a much bigger pile in regards to Vendrick and the Blade Brother. And there's just kind of a moment of like, I know this is the only thing they recovered. I don't know where, if they're separate, if they're together. Clearly they wanted to use the Tetheriums, but I feel like this only tells me so little about the Tranquil.
Well, good thing we got more books to look at. This isn't the end of the road, it's just the beginning.
Yeah. I do need to share this with Whistle, though.
We will. And Io sort of squeezes your shoulder, and at that mention, we will transition to Whistle and Echinacea. All right, you guys are
as far as Genasi.
they're sitting at a table not too far out from the sections you guys are sort of walking towards.
I'm not actually going to mess with them.
What is it that you guys are looking for first?
Well, I think if we could sort of triangulate, I think. So I have a spell called Instant Acquisition. It's not actually instant because I didn't prepare it today, but I can read a book in 10 minutes. So, if we find a biography or several of Vendrick, and then find historical counts of Eos and Ios, maybe we can see how those timelines align. And Alec, this is not me saying like, give me this in game, but like that's what they're what they're looking for.
I know, I appreciate it. Easy enough for you to find not only just a biography of Lord Vendrick, but a historical account of military leaders and their allies in a large historical tome. Like, think 3 Sanderson books taped together that's kind of what we're rocking with here.
It's a lot of book.
And as you're kind of scoping through like the
biography or the historical accounts?
The biographies are within the historical accounts. Oh no, you're talking about.
It's not an individual one.
I understand what you're saying. You're talking about the historical accounts of Eos Ios and then the biography. So the biography is within this large tome of biographies for military leaders of the Divanthir Empire. So there's more than just Vendrick in here. It's military leaders and their allies. As you sort of comb through, you do see the mention of the Union of the Tranquil. So this is going to be a good read.
Okay. And there's not like an individual biography, like
there is a singular individual biography. There's both.
Okay.
Yeah.
They will get both then.
Understood. And then you are able to find a book that looks to be like a collection of mythic and religious figures from the Divanthir Empire, and you see both Ios and Eos mentioned here. Interestingly enough, you see a section that is dubbed the complex relationship between Lord Vendrick and Eos, the first Phoenix. As it seems, over a cursory glance, these two had a relationship that flipped fairly frequently between friendly and adversarial.
And this was with Eos, so the identity of Ios was kept kind of
secret from the public. That is what you're gleaning very quickly here.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So Ios seemed to keep his role as the sort of god emperor for a long time, god leader of the Divanthir. He seemed to sort of try and keep that distinct from his dynamic with Vendrick.
Interesting.
You've been rubbing elbows with gods for a while, it sounds like.
Yeah, I suppose so. It is, Doctor, can I ask you a personal question?
Always.
Your power comes from Minri, right?
It's complicated. The power of the weave comes from Minri, and my wizardly magic channels her. But my ability to heal, they summon their red feather, comes from Igni the Phoenix. I'm drawing on multiple powerful entities. They pull out their mythic spellbook. This was a present from Pharos, and I cipher my spells in this tome like fairy tales and poems for his entertainment as it communicates with him. So I have some natural magic from Minri, being an Aasimar of her. But by and large, I am just channeling external forces.
Seems like you've also got quite a close relationship with the gods.
Would that I could remember a majority of it. But yes.
That wasn't my question, though. My question is, why do you consider yourself a worshipper of Minri?
Yes.
But why?
Because she is the weave. She makes possible the things that I love to accomplish. And she provides it within the world, within this realm, so that any person who extends themselves to look for it may call upon her. There's something giving about Minri that is special. When all the other gods require worship in order for clerics to utilize their power, Minri gave her power to the world and said, use it.
That's a good perspective. I'd been wondering. We've encountered several gods now. And at least in the case of a deity like Lathander, it seemed that he offered you a great deal of respect. I just thought that this group, the Fated, wield a significant amount of power. A power recognized by the gods. A power amongst us that even the gods either fear or respect. So it begs the question to me, why worship them if they look to us?
It's a fascinating question. And I would not tell someone to have faith or not have it. I would not expect you to have faith in a god. My faith...
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No,
No.
you go.
My faith in Minri comes from love of her generosity, her willingness to give herself to the world. With regard to the Alloyed Pantheon, I think their relationships are even more complicated than ours. They've had eons to forge them. I think when you see Lathander behave with respect, it seems to me that he is mirroring the approach of the person calling upon him with Minri's magic. I can't say for certain, as I don't pretend to know the god's mind. I think... Oh, no, you.
No,
Please.
just trying to remember. What was the name of the god we saved
Shar.
from
Shar.
Shar.
Even Shah was captured by a cult that we were able to defeat. Not alone, mind you, but it seems the gods need us more than we need them. At least a select few. I do admit that Minri's generosity is admirable.
To be frank, without Minri's generosity, most of my magic would be torn from me. My abilities are facilitated by her. I do in fact need her to do a majority of what I do. It isn't innate to me. And with regards to Shar, she was kidnapped, taken by Ruin's Eye. We do not know the exact circumstances, but it was a god binding another god that forced our hand. She's Minri's sister, you know.
I do recall.
There's something to be said for her version of the weave existing for another realm to be able to hold as well. She is equally generous when free. I think the gods need the worship of their followers. I think that that is where they draw power from, so I do not think you are wrong. But also, at least the goddess I worship grants me the ability to do so. It is symbiosis.
Is there... We said there was a biography of Vendrick.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sort of depiction of Vendrick on the front?
You absolutely find an illustration of Vendrick. What you both see is a vastly tall, humanoid shape, standing at about 10 feet tall, a proud, prominent sort of rib cage like construction. You can see almost like it's almost like proto-human physiology. That's kind of what you're looking at here. Coming from the rib cage is a small set of non-dominant arms. From the shoulders, large dominant arms as you and I have them. A metallic face with this body which is very unclear what is armor and what is the physical extension of Lord Vendrick's being. You see
Button posted a perfect gif.
Yeah, Grievous. I actually have a hero forge that is Lord Vendrick. So all of you are going to get a view of what Lord Vendrick looks like. I'm going to cut this out, but
Daddy.
I want to show you guys at the very least kind of what we're operating with. Lou, looks like you left the captions, baby. What?
Lou, get back. Take my hand, Lou. Get back in here.
Okay.
Alec hate us.
Yeah. I'm going to drop it in the gallery. That is what you see depicted.
Toyra.
Whoa.
That is what Lord Vendrick looks like.
Ooh.
And that's what we saw at the end of the
that is what you saw in the legend lore.
The tumbleweed, the body tumbleweed. What's
tumbleweed.
It called? The village.
I thought it was still Whistle, and he just like took over Whistle's.
Yeah, but that's what was seen.
Oh, that's what they saw. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And I will say, the feather iconography is prominent. The cape looks akin to this craggy rock that is sort of plated, almost like a shield of some sort, and the spear in hand, flaming and strong, is very prominent as well.
Damn.
So that is what you guys see when it comes to Lord Vendrick.
Yes, that's what we saw.
And question: are you guys having this conversation privately?
I think like hushed tones. It's a library.
Give me stealth checks, please.
Yeah, we've been shushed, I imagine.
Yeah. The fire Genasi. The one's just like steaming from the ears. He's so mad.
This is a library.
Absolutely average. Total of 16. I rolled a 10.
Okay. David?
15 plus 5
20.
for the kind of 20.
Ooh.
Don't tell Mama. You don't tell Mama.
You do hear a familiar feminine voice. I did not mean to interrupt. I just couldn't help it over here on my approach. As Soren is behind you both, the worship of gods and men is a very delicate balance. There's a place that gods cannot walk where only men can, and a place where men can't walk where only gods can. Gods are restricted by domains having locked their action, and we need them as they need us.
Oh, very balanced. Hello, Soren.
Again, like I said, I did not mean to... When there are any sort of conversations about, well, philosophy or anything like this, I am quite fanatic. I like them.
I think Whistle, kind of just looking at the image of Vendrick, just says out loud then,
I wonder if the gods played with him the way they do with us. You say we need them. But if we need them, just so they can grant us powers to fight their wars, then I'd rather not be needed at all.
Removing oneself from the equation.
and Whistle's going to just kind of like, his thumb is going to stroke Nikolai's hilt. And he's just gonna say,
Not yet, anyway.
Speaking of Professor Vokoda, I heard you were all here, given Brenton's communication with the office I work with. Would you have a moment to talk and assess Nikolai together?
Certainly.
I have a private office downstairs. If you'd like to follow me, Echinacea, if I could steal him from you.
As long as he is comfortable being stolen.
Quite.
She offers an elbow.
Whistle will take it. And before he leaves,
I'll meet you at the bookstore.
Bookstore.
Yes, meet you at the bookstore.
and yeah.
Okay. You head off as Echinacea, you hear footsteps approaching you from the other side, and that's where we're going to take our first break.
An ambush.
Echinacea gets
Library.
Murder in the library.
Murder in the
47
stacks.
times. All right, guys, we're going to take our break here for tonight. We're only going to have one since it's a shorter session, but we will see you guys in about 10 minutes. Bye. Love you. Bye. Love you. Bye.
I love you.
right, Dolores, we pick up with you inside of the Crimson Mask, having just been given a small package by Milo's wife, Barbara.
And I open it up.
You know her as Babs.
Babs.
Yep.
Thank you.
You open it up, she moves. And you see a couple things in here. First off is a small pendant. You open it and you see a little depiction of your first victory at the Crimson Mask. You're standing on a pedestal with Milo over your shoulder, holding your arm up, trophy in other hand. And the outside is a depiction of a flame. So just kind of like an ode to your time here. There is a brooch that is very striking. It's gold with this sort of brass and silver trim that is just a small little domino mask. Very typical for those who sort of operate around the Crimson Mask. Those in different troops kind of take on like a theater mask or a domino mask or maybe like a full on like porcelain mask as some sort of like aspect of their performance. So this looks like it's meant to kind of hold a capelet or a cloak, which is what this beautiful red fabric is meant to be. This sort of long, almost little Red Riding Hood-esque type cloak. And inside all of that is a bag. It looks to be a bag of holding. And you open it to find another 50,000 gold pieces.
Babs. Milo, what is this?
Talk to him, love. It was all his idea.
I don't deserve all this. Is something wrong? Are you...
Milo comes out as... Dolores, you deserve it. It's your money. It's money... It's money I should have just freely given you when you needed help.
Help me plenty.
Not in the ways that you actually needed. Instead of doing what you needed, I made you fight for it.
Gotta earn your keep somehow. You don't break bread, but...
I could have had you wash dishes.
I'll break all of them. You know that.
Dolores, I could have had you do a whole lot of things. But instead, I made you wrap your fists and fight here. Well, consider yourself retired from the Crimson Mask.
No. Talking about it.
Come on, I
begged you for the job. I was scrappy. It gave me a structure. Instead of just fighting on the street. It would have been here. With someone to take care of me after. Or no one. Don't blame yourself.
I am going to blame myself. I put you in the position to take it. I made it sound lucrative. I made it sound exciting. If it's lucrative, why are you in debt?
I live beyond my means.
You know it's more than that. Your new friends were... You're right. That angel that you know, they were right. And treat you like my favorite. Dolores, you're the closest thing that Babs and I will ever have to a kid. And I have not once treated you like that. And it is something that I will spend the rest of my days, toes in the sand, or here in this place trying to make up for. Now, I promised myself that if you didn't pick the tournament, I'd give you that.
Really?
Yeah, kid. I'm sorry. You deserved a whole lot better than me. But I'm what you got. So, why not make myself a little better? It doesn't fix the problems we have, but it's a fucking start. And, I want this place to be more like it was back then. I just don't know what steps to take. So how about I lean on you and your new, very smart friends?
We'll sort it out for you, Milo.
I don't want you getting your knuckles bloodied and bruised on my account anymore. And sure as shit, not because I told you to. I didn't give you a choice, Dolores. I gave you the illusion of a choice. And that's not what... It's not what you do with the people you love. And I loved you. I do. I just didn't do it right.
What to say, Milo?
Nah, don't say nothing then.
She looks at the brooch and the pin and the cloak in her hands for a while and slowly puts it on. Even the hood over her head. Just kind of holds it there and smells. Mm. And I think she'll just give them both big hugs and head back. She's still speechless. There's still so much. She's not ready to accept that she's retired. Like, she understands this moment. She doesn't want to fight back with Milo, but she knows that just because he's done and retired
doesn't mean that she is. Yep.
But wants to feel that. And she's going to go and try to talk to the people that she's in debt with for her loft to see if she can maybe get a space again or something, or at least pay off what she owes some way. And we can montage.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say you make your way to your building and you are able to talk to the building manager. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Because I mean, let's have a dialogue here. I'm sure this isn't the first time that Dolores has been late on a payment, and I'm sure that this is not the first time that Dolores has said she's good for something she didn't have. So with that, go ahead and roll it. I'm just telling you how I'm adjusting my DC. So it's gonna be a pretty high DC. Just based on those factors. But go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
I used a inspiration for 23.
23. Okay.
She's got money, so she plops it down. I feel like
the money helps. The money helps for sure. I'll say with that, you are permitted to a month-to-month lease.
Okay.
Versus like a whole, 6 to 12 month.
Yep.
And that can be extended if you're consistent with your monthly payments. So you have your loft back at the very least.
Okay. And then how much did all of it cost?
That cost you about, to get you started, about 85,000 gold pieces.
All right.
Ooh! She's in debt, baby!
Okay.
And Dolores
then
is definitely the person to punch holes in her walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So she's gonna move her shit back in from, like, I think she took she doesn't have much from Milo, and
It took you about an hour to get everything in there, yep.
Yep. And then she's going to be working on mending her damaged armor from the original fight.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's going to be a later thing. What time is it?
I'd say at this point it's probably about 1 in the afternoon.
All right. Yeah, she's going to haul ass back to the library, pick up lunch.
Oh, you're gonna pick up
Like
a
her
lunch
favorite,
for
like
everybody?
Euro place, you know, little
sure. There
Euro
are
and
totally
chip.
Euros in Aosha. Absolutely. Ulkes is known for its Euros.
Or something akin to a carb. Yeah.
Carb heavy. You nap,
But like
after
with
you
the
eat
fresh, you know, something or other. And she's gonna scuttle in and make a little like pop in, drop off some food. She's the scout, you know, she'll
Well, actually, that's Lazuli, but sure.
but yeah, she's right on her feet, she's doing her thing.
Half tally.
We'll say half tally. Lou? Half tally? Thank you. Is that just tape raw dogging your wall? That's sick and twisted.
It's a closet or something, though.
So the
right?
fuck what?
So don't see in it.
Oh, can I tell you guys something crazy? I was leaning back on my rolling chair, and I fell. You guys ready?
Yeah, that's
No!
ouch.
That's not getting cut. Let's hope my building manager doesn't.
That's not getting cut. There goes your deposit.
There goes my deposit.
Oh no! Just a little plaster. Just
We'll
do
be
that,
fine.
and you're
Toothpaste.
fine.
Duct tape.
I'm
Toothpaste
just
and
saying
duct tape.
how incredibly hypocritical it is for me to be judging Lou while that exists. I wanted to make sure that was stated. But yeah, we will. Dolores, you make your way. We'll touch base with that once we check it with everybody else again, and so we can get everybody kind of condensed timelined. Zio, you're getting all of this information from the library. You're looking for specific mentions of the Tranquil.
Yeah, I think after everything, after all the stuff with Kata and her books and talking to Io, I think Zio also kind of feels a little bit remorse for not having asked Halidas to be here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And tries to make sure and write down as many notes, like separate notes, to also kind of talk to Halidas about.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, understood. I'd say as you're kind of looking into this, you find, and this is a lot of knowledge that you're going to get through those documents that I write after this, but any mention of the Tranquil is mentioned as allies to the Divanthier Empire. They're all spoken to highly of. The only outlier kind of being Istris, who is not necessarily spoken about negatively, but he is often referred to as the Stoic. He's not very talkative. He's not very ingratiated, where people like Halidas, Kaletra, and Glacia would sort of take part in these. There's a specific mention of the Divanthier Empire outreaching to Vacron, like villages in the mountaintops, and aiding with some natural water flow in a place where it doesn't come. Much like they're the self-sustaining ecosystems, they're able to sort of, actually similar to what you saw in Ishwar's estate, where there are those rings that allowed like water to flow through. It's exactly that within one of these Vacron not outposts, but like where they opt to live, their homesteads. Helitis would be there, and the Divanther Empire and Helitis would like unveil this to the community, and they would work together in tandem. Yeah.
Is there mention of this community, like where it's located, or like any of its like location?
Where it's located is difficult because at this point in history, Aosha is a supercontinent.
Okay.
Everything is all condensed into one supercontinent. There are guesstimations. If you go to say maybe the reference librarian, they say maybe something like that would be located on what is now known as Etish, the floating continent of the world, that despite its airborne status, it's actually quite mountainous in its terrain.
Yeah, so we know about the floating continent. We just haven't.
You guys haven't seen it, yeah.
We haven't seen it.
You guys surely know it exists.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think with all of the mentions, especially of like Coletra, Inglacia, and Helitis, it just kind of starts dawning on Zio now more than ever that like Helitis just like took off and like has not.
He straight up fucked off.
Yeah, he just took off, and it's only been like a couple of days.
It's been not even a full day.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like one of those things that it's Zio kind of like
where's dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I already used one of my
You
sendings.
used the scroll, if I remember correctly, because that was a conversation.
No, I used like my daily sending, but I'm gonna use one of my scrolls now.
Yeah.
And just to kind of like I'm gonna reach out to Helitis and just be like,
understood. Hey, dog, where the fuck are you, dude?
Yeah, and it's like, haven't seen you.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Absolutely.
Doing some research in the library. Your name is coming up. Clarity would be nice. Yeah. And that's just what I send. I think this is the one time where like Zio actually like their mind is so focused on this research
25 words.
that they actually stick to the 25 words.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get a response back that says, "Sorry, I haven't touched back. I have been lost in flight. Positively, I am currently over the snow-capped Cambeliard north here. It is beautiful."
He deserves it.
Dude's taking a little siesta. He's taking a little trip. Like when he said, and that's like a complete miscommunication on Helitis' part, right? When he said, "I'm gonna go take a flight and see things," he's like, "I'm gonna fly around the entire continent and see how things have changed."
I think
but he does say,
is like,
he's just absolutely. Once I get back, I will. Yes, we can absolutely go over this. I will be back tonight. He's telling himself more than he's telling you, like, I will be back tonight.
I just love the idea of like this like endless being of like primordial magic that lives possibly like perpetually through time, not remembering that time is the thing that happens. It's like the Heimerdinger thing of like, oh, I'm like 1,000 years old, and it's like, what is time? Like time is a construct.
Where is it?
Yeah.
I gotta go check on my mortal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my little guy.
It's like shit. It's like, fuck, I forget. It's been 10 years. What?
Oh, fuck. It's been 12 hours. Shit, forgot to check in. But yeah, I'll say at this point, Juliet is able to move forward towards you with the other books you requested in hand and say, "Oh, We the Kings" reference in the Year of Our Lord 2024 button is actually fucking crazy. Sorry, I just saw them say,
"Is that the name of the album?"
That's the name of the band.
Oh, fuck.
That's crazy. Check Yes Juliet, insane. That punched 14-year-old me in the chest. And I don't want to be here anymore. But yeah, you're given the books you need, and given the denotation that you've received from Breton at the reference desk when you entered, you're able to check these books out.
Oh, even
So
though
you're-
these so
Even though these are the restricted section, you're allowed to take
I'm
them off
allowed?
campus because Nikolai.
oh, this is very serious stuff, Juliet. Are you sure you want to trust me with this?
If you fuck it up, they'll kill me first.
Oh no! Wait, what? Looks at Io like, are they?
She's
killing
kidding,
people in
she's
the
kidding.
library?
God, don't joke like that. My brother is traumatized.
Yeah, that's actually very true. I've died twice, so
Juliet's like, I apologize.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
No, we'll just, if they don't come back in the allotted time, which is like 4 days, then we will come look for you. Not in like a threatening way, in like a we will just come looking for you.
Can I give you, and then also like gives Juliet a kind of the location of the like a little address
where the
or
humble
location of the humble abode. It's like if I forget, which I potentially could.
A little
Please
chicken
come to this
scratch
location.
drawing of
Yeah.
where the humble abode is currently planted.
It's just Zio doing this little like.
I can't imagine Zio having like the brain span to be like address here. No, this is where we're staying. Like he's a visual learner, right?
Remember, so this is here, and then if you go this.
So we're
this way,
about this
way,
far
way.
from the
Right here.
wallflower, which means we're
Yeah.
about a block this way. But yes, you absolutely give the location of the humble abode.
Yeah.
And
It's
she
all
just-
like
oh fuck.
it's all like eagle eye view. I feel like that's how Zio visualizes things. It
she's
is
like-
like a battle map.
She's like, okay, yeah, I'll sounds
Wait.
good. If you don't what?
Speaking of which, I also would like to posit that it also has the IO that we did on the fucking Roll20. Like, all the scribbling of trying to make letters out of the buildings. Like, I would like that to be canon as well. And Zio has, like,
Fair enough,
real
yeah.
IO in
Not
the
distracted.
Like,
Yeah.
is there a word in here? Like,
You guys are trying to decipher the secrets of Ulkes through a map. Perfect.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Trying.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Try. Yeah, no, perfect. But
We
yes,
did.
you take. We did. We figured it out, dude. But yes, you're able to get those books and get checked out.
Yeah.
So
I
and check them
think
with the
Zio
lights.
will. So how many books is it? Just so that I can.
Right now, you have 3.
3 books. So I know the metal kata journals cannot leave because they're metal.
You
like,
cannot take those down, but you have
Those, no.
written them word for
the
word.
yeah, I've written them word for word, and then the books on like the other stuff with like kata and the
Kata, Vendrick, Union of the Tranquil, and yeah, you completely got
they're
that.
gonna go into the bag of holding. So
Okay, cool. Yep.
so I have, I have those 3 books. Checked in with Helidas, and looks over at Io and just says, I mean, we've got a little bit of time here. Is there anything that you want to look up?
In the restricted section, no, but there is something I need to pick up from the bookstore.
Oh. Do you want me to come with you?
No, stay here. Yes, come on, let's go. Just kind of loops her arm around yours, and you head to the bookstore.
Is the tuition office on the way?
It's not in the library. That's in
On the way to the bookstore, or is the bookstore
no,
like
the bookstore's
adjacent to the library?
directly attached to the library.
One of those. Got
Yeah,
it.
one of those. So I will say, if you want to go to the tuition office, it's 2 spheres down. The buildings are spheres.
Yeah.
Orbs.
Orbs.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you, Zio. David.
Yeah.
You make your way down. I don't know why you got surprised. It's like, I'm here?
Whistle? Whistle.
Roll initiative.
All right. Soren, let's do this.
No. You walk down with Soren, who's just kind of giving you small talk, asking how you're enjoying the city. Have you been here before? That sort of thing. Until you get to her office, which is a very, very organized place. It's completely surrounded by bookshelves, one central desk with a few seating. It's efficient to the degree of being sterile. It's like there's no personality here.
Mm.
There are chairs. This is desk. Desk serves purpose. Bookshelf serve purpose. Done.
Mm. Everything's in its place, and
everything's in its place. This bitch is definitely autistic.
Got it.
And anal retentive.
Got it.
So, okay. But you sit in front of her, and you see as she puts this almost like a little display with these two prongs to rest Nikolai on. See,
Whistle will hold his palm out and allow Nikolai, because Nikolai can kind of float around.
Yeah, Nikolai kind of moves himself, and Nikolai, as she's been talking, he's been kind of yapping, like asking her how she's been doing. Like you can see the energy of like a colleague and former student catching up. You know, just like, well, oh my God, how have you been? But and then it becomes quickly. It's very sobering when the knife is placed on the display of like, yes, the reason why we're here. Soren, before we get started, I'm sorry to hear that the word of Vincent Morrisov did not help you with King Scandalore. He's quite the paranoid man, the king.
That's all right. Given what I've seen of Ulkest, I suppose I didn't expect much of Scandalore anyway. But maybe not all is lost on that front.
Do you have a plan?
I don't, but someone I know has, we'll call it an idea. I'm not quite sure it's quite a plan yet.
Does the idea involve you all entering the Scandalore castle without permission?
No, very much with permission.
I see.
We have very powerful enemies. I don't think a king is one we necessarily need to add if we can help it.
Very wise, very wise. Well, do keep me updated with how that goes. Headmaster Morrisov was not pleased with the outcome of his message to the king.
Do you mind me asking? How is Morrisov's and Scandalore's relationship?
Afraid, at the very best. Vincent wants protections in place for the Divanthia magic currently installed within the Scandalore castle, and, well, the king is making that very difficult, as it's his castle, and what he says goes. As discussed, there is an aether core there. Vincent wishes for it not to be used for the means of war. Does not wish for it to be used to build automata. Does not wish for it to be used for any mad rambling that the king can concoct. Now, Divanthia magic is old. I don't need to tell you this. Looks at the dagger, being one who is thought to be the soul forged. There's a lot of weight to what our magic can do. What it can bring, both creation and chaos.
Yes. I'm starting to become more familiar with the two aspects, the duality of these things. Balance.
I don't believe in such simple concepts. I don't think balance is a real thing.
Oh. Well, Soren, I know you enjoy talking philosophy. I'm sure.
We are here to talk business. You are right. I apologize. Can you
yeah.
Can you run me through the night it happened?
I think Whistled, with his between the keen mind and just kind of the general replays, you know.
You're
I think this is a part of his mind, that he also like keeps from Nikolai.
Yeah, sure.
Like partitioned up where he just kind of like replays the night and the choices.
Nikolai
Whistle's
doesn't need to
still,
see like someone else's
Yeah,
POV of him
perspective.
getting murdered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. So yeah, I think maybe even to Nikolai, it's almost like perfect detail. The Whistle is going to just describe the events down to the time, the weather. I mean,
Yep.
like very thorough report.
You see she's taking notes, and she kind of quickly, is it all right that I do so?
If it helps you,
It
if
does.
it helps him.
I hope it does. Nikolai Volkoda is a good man and a good teacher. I wish for nothing more than for him to be restored. It is an injustice what happened to him.
Agreed.
And
In this,
please.
Whistle's just going to say,
in this, Soren, we are very much aligned.
And I have a feeling we will not align on much. It is good to know. Given the strict verbiage of the prophecy, I imagine you are seeking alternatives.
They have been considered. Anything is on the table.
Well, if I may be so bold, Headmaster Headmaster Morosov is a staunch believer in the Soulforged prophecy. I think prophecy is not meant to be treated as hard truth. It is meant to be treated as a guide. One for people to replicate in times of need. Where someone can see the Soulforged in you, I think the circumstance that you experience can be replicated to some degree. It's just numbers. There are many of Divanthere artifacts that we do not have in hand. Many tragedies can take places in front of them. You could be the Soulforged. You could be the puppeteer of the puppet of a lost icon trying to regain power.
Or I could just be unlucky, is what you're saying.
Or you could just be terribly unlucky. I think, per your conversation with Dr. Belrose, it is a matter of belief. If you truly believe that you could find an alternative elsewhere, I think you will.
The magic that holds Nikolai, that has imprisoned him, imprisoned his soul.
It is raw transmutation magic. His soul has been transmuted into this item, bonded to it. Now it is a matter of unbinding the soul, which clerics do all the time. They revive people. Their souls are becoming bound to an afterlife, and it takes a cleric or someone capable of casting revivification magic to touch base with the soul and ask if it wants to be bound to the precipice. Nikolai, I do not wish to be bound to the precipice. I think we both understand that, Nikolai.
So, the question is, how do we unbind you?
You need a host body. And obviously Nikolai's is here. But given the fact that Vincent Morosov is a staunch believer in the Soulforged prophecy, I think he will want to continue to monitor it. I don't know how easily accessible that will be to you. There is then the question of, does one become constructed? A warforged or alloy-born body?
would be up to Nick. But I will say this. If we make a request to retrieve Nikolai's body, and Morosov disagrees, then more's the pity for him.
You're saying you will take it?
If it comes to it. My priority is not a prophecy or some god's will. My priority is restoring Nikolai.
As I can see. You are a bold man telling the secretary of the headmaster such things. I credit your boldness.
There's nothing to credit. I want Nikolai restored. And you present a fine way to do so. And Nick trusts you. So I'm being honest. That's not a threat.
No, it isn't. But I understand now what is on the line. And it is good to know such things. Therein lies the beauty of being a wielder of the Diventhir. Most paths for people are blocked off. Held back by some barrier. We have the capability to manipulate barriers. To mold them to our will. A wall in your way becomes a blade to which you with which you will fell your enemies. It is only a matter of perspective. A host body. Well, what I can do, as I see, and you can see as you've been talking, she's had her hands over Nikolai, and there's a point where she welcomes your hand forward as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Whistle will stand up and offer his hand.
And you place it over Nikolai, and you see as almost that liquid Damascus raises toward your palm and just trails it. Sort of etches and fills the lines in your hand. The calluses that have formed after years and years of hard work. And in that you feel a willingness to be molded. A willingness to shift from the form that lies within. You know for a fact, an undeniable fact, that Nikolai does not wish to be bound to this blade forever.
Mm-hmm.
He said as much. Mm-hmm. But the question is, what's Whistle's perspective as he can feel that will to be molded?
Whistle, I don't mean to be too anticlimactic here, but Whistle's reaching out, and he is open to Nikolai's desires.
Absolutely.
Like, if Nikolai wants to be in a different form, Whistle will do everything he can to make it happen. And if the magic that Whistle is feeling is like the manifestation of Nikolai's intent to be something else, then Whistle is going to do everything in his power to just follow that intention.
Absolutely.
And call his power forward towards it.
There's nothing anticlimactic about collaboration, especially with the ones you love. So here, I would like you to roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana check. You mean I need my character sheet?
You would. That would be helpful.
Okay. 16 plus 3 for 19. And you know what? If Nikolai and Soren are allies, I'm going to just bump that up to a 21. Because I can, because Hobgoblin.
21.
And I feel like a 20 is a good DC to beat.
That's a great DC. As you see the blade begin to shift you see Nikolai's form that has shifted into other weapons begins to take on a completely different shape. This intricate collection of spheres sort of bound atop one another, moving in synchronicity the same way that valves of a heart beat. One sequence moves as another sort of thrums with energy. They move around each other, almost akin to, the device from Treasure Planet?
Yeah.
That like circular golden codex
map thing.
That's exactly what it looks like. But each sequence moving differently, each aspect of it sort of individualistic to the designer's intent. And it is then where Soren makes a connection. I've seen something like this before. Nope, you're not Kalen.
I was gonna say, Kalen, you're here.
I was falling into Victor from Arcane.
I kind of heard it a little bit.
This is a wonderful creation, Jason.
JB not.
JB not. Victor Nation, how are we feeling? Soren, I've seen work like this before. By a skilled high artificer, the name of Gale Messier. He's currently, he did do work here in Larworth for a long time, well before Nikolai's time. And you hear Nikolai, Gale Messier. He would know much about Alloyborn. That is to be certain. You can currently find him serving as the High Artificer in Valenro. To create a body, you would be the man you'd want to speak to. If we are unable to receive Nikolai's flesh body.
Is that what you want, Nick?
Yes. I want to hold you again. I want to be near you. I want to be able to walk beside you. And if this is a way we can do that, I think this is the way we go.
I will do everything in my power to make this happen.
It's only a matter of perspective. And if you do not wish to be a god's puppet, then I do not either.
The gods can have their wars. For humanity, I don't care. But you're mine. And I'm yours.
Forever. I am yours. And you are mine. And David, you see as one of the rings of the sphere break off and shrink to that to perfectly fit on your ring finger. This is an unorthodox way to ask the question. I think we've already seen sickness and health, the best and worst parts of each other. I have not seen anything that deters me from living the rest of my life steel or blood with anyone other than you. Whistle, will you marry me?
Of course. And I promise you this. Not even death will do us part.
even death will do us part. And the ring fastens itself to your finger, a perfect fit, just as Nikolai has been to your life since coming to the Ulkes the first time. And David, you gain a level in your Divanthia transformation class.
Oh, shit!
Let's go!
Oh!
There's your inspiration point. Take that.
I can't have more than 3. I'm at max.
Hey, you just got engaged. Take 4.
Hold on to it.
Yes!
Old man Yowie goes crazy.
There is nothing that gets me more than I am mine, you are mine, and I am yours.
Oh man. But yes. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I thought somebody had something to say. But you sit with Nikolai, and Soren just sort of stands. I will collect any information on Gail Messier, and I will give you to the room.
Whistle's eyes are locked on Nikolai.
Yep.
But before Soren leaves, Whistle's going to say 2 things.
Soren. Would you be willing to tell Victor Morozov, that I would like to speak to him? We would like to speak with him.
I can do that.
And thank you.
I am simply doing my job. No reason to thank me. She sort of nods and exits the room. And that's where we will turn to Echinacea. As you hear footsteps approaching. That's a lot of research you're doing.
That's not Kaylin.
No, it's not Kaylin.
Who, hello, yes. Is that Monroe?
No. You turn to see a half-elven man, darker skin, purple eyes, slicked back, black hair, wearing something akin to like a 1920s three-piece suit. Wand sort of holstered on the side belt, a little book pasted to the side, sort of black gray with like a really fine like velvety purple trim, as he just sort of looks. Well, I was in the area looking for books too, and I actually wanted to get to that one right there, and I didn't want to interrupt you. Rude.
I'm in the way.
For now.
Okay. Sorry, I'll move.
That's okay. Thank you. He sort of reaches above you. I'm Hugh. Nice to meet you. Puts a hand out to shake.
Hugh, I'm Echinacea. Nice to meet you. Is that a spell book? That's a rude question.
Not a rude question. Is that a spell book?
Yes.
Mine's not a spell book. Unfortunately, I'm not blessed with the arts of wizardry. I am but a lowly sorcerer.
Aren't you? Is that an Ulkesan perspective? Because the way I see it, you have innate power, and I have to read a lot to do that.
It's not an Ulkesan perspective. It's a Hugh Lion Court perspective.
Leon Court.
People like to say Leon Court. That is not it. It is Lion Court. That is how
Sorry,
I pronounce it.
someone's obsessed with vampire.
No, I've always been jealous of a wizard's ability to change out spells. I can't do. Once I have them, they're there. Wizards have this versatility that I am just in awe of.
Echinacea looks around at this library. Does Larwith teach wizardry?
It doesn't, actually, which is terrible.
Oh. Hugh, are you a student?
No,
Then-
I actually, I don't go here. I frequent the library, though. I'm a investigator.
Of panic. Of what?
Depends
Of
on what the client hires me for. Right now, I'm looking into. They're pretty intent on looking at the sentience and sapience of automata. Wondering if the Scandalar crown, they and myself, a bit of a conspiracy theorist, that maybe the Scandalar crown is willingly subjugating automata across the whole of Drukamesh.
What? I mean, yeah. What?
Did you say yeah? Like you knew something? Did you know something? Also, rude of me to ask, what are you researching?
You?
Yeah. Yes.
I can't help but notice you've approached me on a subject that, you see, don't act like you're surprised. Okay.
Listen, there are a lot of books in this section. I did not come to make any sort of judgments on what you were researching. I see a varied amount of books in your hand, and this is a large automata alloy-born section.
Why'd you whisper it like that? Okay, see,
Because
you're
people
saying
get
that to me.
You hear somebody in the corner?
No.
Shh, this is a library.
The fire Genasi.
Yeah. Echinacea pulls out their message ring, points it at this man. Okay, Hugh. So you've come and approached me and told me a lot about what you're researching for a case that you are investigating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What led you to giving me all of that information?
Well, you seem to also be interested in automata and alloy-born. So, I'm conducting interviews. And, well, I'd like to get other people's perspective, and it's very clear you're not from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't a bad thing, by the way. It's a good thing.
What? Okay.
But people are closed-minded here. If I go down the hall and ask somebody how they feel about automata, they're gonna say they love it because it makes their life easier. But then you go out to the outer districts and it's a completely different story. Their jobs are being taken and they have nothing to support themselves with. And that's all at the hand of the Scandalar crown. Listen, I'm a conspiracy theorist and sometimes I ramble. I do apologize for that. But you're in a section I was looking for a book, looking into for a book, and I saw an opportunity to see if someone was like-minded.
Get a bit. Okay, so looking for an opportunity to see if someone is like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Given the conversations that we have had, some of them in public, regarding the Alloy-born, can Echinacea insight check? Their suspicion is you have overheard shit and are coming over here, and whether or not you believe what you're saying, that's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Wow. 6.
There is an earnestness and genuine curiosity about your interest in Alloy-born, given the books you picked up and the books that are currently within Hugh's hands.
Tell you what, Hugh,
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of reading to do. While I do, while I walk, they're still saying this through the message cantrip, so it's silent.
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe tell me about your theories regarding why you think the automata and the Warforged are Alloy-born? Because that doesn't seem to be socially accepted here. I'm willing to hear you out.
It's not socially acceptable. I was kicked out of the Hall of Records 2.5 weeks ago for asking questions. Well, my biggest theory is, or my biggest piece of evidence. Have you heard of Muse? The Ironclad?
I've heard of someone called Muse.
Okay.
Why?
Well, learned a bit about Muse's history from my client, who that I need to keep private, if I'm sure you understand. Muse used to be a harlequin. Used to be a jester in the Scandalar Castle. And told tales of being fed directives and broke free. Now they're in the Ironclad trying to rally people against the crown. And I don't think a story like that doesn't just get made up. I mean, it does, but someone as passionate as Muse is, there's got to be some truth. And frankly, even in lies, there's an ounce of truth, right? So that's
Is that true?
I mean, I think so. I think you're allowed to not think that, but I certainly think so. At least a good lie.
Okay.
And in my investigating, I've heard reports from insiders at the castle that there's a device that nobody is allowed to see, some sort of core, I don't know. You have a really inviting demeanor. I'm just kind of letting it all loose.
Good.
Good. Good is good. Good.
Well, so what book did he pull off the shelf?
He pulled another book. There are a few duplicates of like historical text. He picked up like a volume 2 of the book that you picked up.
On
like Alloy-born history and mythology.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
We read these in tandem, and we come back together after that and discuss what we've gleaned.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, do you want to meet here, or do you want to meet somewhere else?
I'm gonna... Oh, that's true. I'm gonna be done in a couple minutes.
What? That is a large tome. What do you mean a couple minutes?
I made a spell that makes me read quickly.
Yet another reason to be jealous of wizards. You guys can just make that shit. It's incredible.
What if you...
It's incredible. And what? And to your earlier point, I'd love to learn to be a wizard. I just don't know any good teachers.
Echinacea is like, I know a good teacher who will not want to teach this man.
You do?
And then they're like, I'm going to teach my brother. And then they're like, I don't know this man. And then they're like cycling through.
You do hear Eadwulf. I don't know. I kind of like this guy. He's roguish. He's no nonsense. I think I might just be attracted to him, but that's just me.
I think you might be attracted to him, which we can. Hey,
listen. How often have we begged for people to be straightforward with us?
That's true.
This guy's just doing it.
Yeah, but isn't that wild?
No,
isn't that wild?
It is. It absolutely is. But I think places like libraries inspire this level of conversation, right? I mean, we see someone in a similar
Generally
section.
not the conversation, but yes, I take your point.
But you know what I'm saying. Similar interests, spur conversations. Hey, what are you researching? This is what I'm researching.
That's true. Well, okay. Sorry. Echinacea has been like staring at their shadow. They look back up at you.
He's confused. He's like,
how? Well, okay. How long do you anticipate your research taking you? With this tome?
I don't know if this tome's going to solve the case, but it'll be good supplementary text to build my theories. Yeah.
That wasn't an answer to my question. How long do you think until you finish reading that?
Oh, I didn't understand that that's what you had. I don't know, 3 days maybe.
Okay.
If I take a potion to stay up, probably a day and a half.
Whoa!
I've done before.
Don't do that.
I want it.
Okay.
Sometimes we need to know things as soon as possible, and there are ways to do that.
How much do you spend on potions?
Not as much as I spend on whiskey and cigarettes, but...
Jesus Christ. Oh, buddy.
Angie's fucking woof. Woof. But, we're getting there.
Well, no, I'm you're fascinating. You're giving me very clear answers in certain cases and then not in others. I can make you a spell scroll to read that more quickly. It will... I'm running out of money, but I can...
If you can make it, I can fund it. How much is the scroll going to cost?
I think...
It's not easy to answer those questions now, is it?
How much do your potions cost? I'm seeing... Because I think this might be one of the ones that cost me half. That's what I'm looking into. Because it normally would be 100, but I think it would be 50.
Okay, yeah, for that one it would be 50 because it's coming from the Mythic Spellbook.
Okay.
Yeah.
50 gold. Is what it will cost me to make.
I can 50. That's it? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Hands over 50 gold.
All right. Fuck it. I do this.
It does take you half the time too.
It takes me half the time, and I have, or is it just for copying spells into the spell book? Sorry, I didn't expect to be looking at this.
Dorland's rival, David, is crazy.
School rival.
But maybe not. Maybe they kiss and become lovers.
Boyfriend for my brother?
Dorland's a gay boy. Thank you, Angie, for laughing at that. Like I thought people would.
Oh, it's the pill. I'm an idiot.
Dorland walking to go learn spells.
Okay. It is into my spell book. So making a scroll is going to take the normal amount of time.
Okay.
I'm not copying it into my spell book.
And that spell is what level?
Second.
Okay, so that's only going to take you a couple hours.
Fuck. Can you... No, because he's not a wizard. Damn it.
He cannot. See?
Fuck me. I'm trying... Sorry.
You're fine.
I'm trying to help you out. But also, I'm not on my schedule today. I'm on friend schedules. So tell you what.
Okay. For tonight.
Fuck it. I'm gonna read the book and I'm gonna tell you what's in it. And they're gonna
what?
Cast instant acquisition. And their eyes go white for a moment, but then text begins streaming across their eyes as they're gonna spend the 10 minutes to read this book.
Okay.
It's just the easiest thing.
You take the 10 minutes. Hugh stands there and they'll just. Okay, so you read the book.
Yep.
Okay. Great. Possible to do a write-up?
Yep. Actually, Echinacea does have
You do have
the cantrip they created.
Yep.
Adroit amanuensis,
Yep.
where they pick up a quill, set it onto a page, and they will just give an immediate cliff notes. They can write 250 words per minute, so they'll just cliff note what they glean from that. And I imagine that's going to be a part of your write-up, so I don't have to do anything.
It will be, but he is just shocked. He's just, look right there. And he'll point to a section that talks about soul essence inhibition. Now, this is going to be integral to the research. I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to look at my notes, write some stuff up. Do you want to meet here tomorrow?
Yes, please.
Okay. It was great to meet you, Echinacea. Thank you. This is huge.
You, likewise. You confuse me.
So do you. In a good way.
Thank you. I look forward to learning your insights tomorrow.
I look forward to learning your insights tomorrow. Puts out a hand to shake. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And he does.
Sir?
he doesn't know how much that cost. He puts 200 gold in your hand, just to guesstimate. Goodbye.
No. Yeah, I told you the number. I didn't even end up. I didn't make you wait. I didn't even make the scroll.
You used magical resources on my behalf. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And he runs off.
We're gonna sneak this back into his pocket tomorrow, I think. We're gonna figure that out.
Adewolf, great idea. I love that. He's weird. But I like him. Okay.
He was nice.
He was very nice.
I need everyone else's opinion because I think I'm a little afraid and I don't know how weird that was, but maybe it would be helpful to have an investigator of the things that Whistle is interested in talking to us about stuff.
I think it would be a game changer. Yeah. And with the mention of getting everybody together, we'll say this is where everybody meets at the bookstore. Dolores, you guys see as Dolores comes with David. Are you taking off? What's happening?
Really excited to get back to the bookstore. Accidentally kicked the camera.
David's dick is moving the entire table. Dunk. You guys all meet at the bookstore where Dolores is holding about 2 bags worth of lunch.
Work up an appetite?
Yes.
Very much so.
Thank you, Dolores.
No problem.
Thank you. Opens a bag shares it with Io.
I was like, oh, I am hungry. Caitlin will take some. Dorlin will take some. Casimir hides a little snack bar back in his cloak. I'm good, thank you.
What's in lunch? What's for lunch?
Gyros.
Oh yeah, gyros.
Those
wallflower gyros?
Wallflower gyros.
What?
Are these wallflower gyros?
No, they're not from the wallflower. They're from a place called a Euro Hut.
It's like a street seller.
Yeah, it's like
They're in every corner.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like going to New York.
But yeah, but you guys all.
I know a guy.
Yeah, true. Milo made 40 euros before Dolores left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't even.
Anything you guys want to do with each other before we close out for the night?
Can I set up David for something?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone could have had a more eventful time than I just had. A weird investigator came up to me and he's looking into what we're looking into.
Oh.
That's convenient.
That's very convenient.
Yes.
That was the same word I was going to use.
Agreed.
Y'all are paranoid.
What did everyone else get up to?
Whistle's going to pull out. I think he's going to hold out the new Nikolai orb, and also kind of at the same time pull out the ring.
An orb?
Because
Nikolai's orb?
Nikolai's like now spherical.
He's an orb right now.
Oh.
Very similar to the one you saw Lila Alcott in possession of.
Oh. Lila Alcott, what the fuck are you hiding?
Lila, what you know?
But yes, all of you see a wedding band on Nikolai's finger.
What?
On
Whistle?
Whistle's finger. Jeez, Nikolai.
Whistle?
Nikolai doesn't have any fingers.
I'm just gonna say. Yeah. We're working on it.
Yeah.
It's been an eventful afternoon.
I think
even
pretty
Whistle has a
eventful.
smile on his face. Yeah, I think even
Is
Whistle
that-
can't
I
hide a
think-
smile on his face.
That might be more eventful than finding some random guy.
You're right. I need the complete replay. Yeah. Who proposed to? How did you? What words? And Nikolai, you're a ball. And what?
You're a ball.
Marriage. Marriage brings us together.
Marriage.
Hooray.
Sweet
I'd
marriage.
Hey.
I'd
Sweet
say,
marriage.
yeah, Nikolai and Whistle probably go about recounting the event, answering the questions, as you all sort of, stand around. You can see Kaelin and Dorlin walking up. Dorlin has 3 tomes in hand. You can't decide, and everybody is here together at this point. Anything else?
I think. Yeah, I'll leave it for next time.
Okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to take away from the happy moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everything
Yeah.
else Whistle wants to talk about is going to get kind of like, okay, so we might get into a fight. So
So we might kill Vincent Morozov. Okay. I'll
Oh.
say with that, well, we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Depends on
with
Vince Morozov.
It depends. That is where we are going to end tonight's chapter of Known Realms Tolesh. Marriage.
Marriage.
Thank you
brings
guys.
us together,
Thank you guys for
together.
hanging out. Thank you for chilling. Thank you for watching this episode of our story. Let's outro our play, starting with Angie.
Hi everybody, I'm Angie. They them pronouns. I've been playing Zia Marino, he they pronouns. You can catch me over at Agonethetic on the internet where it matters. And Saturdays at 5 p.m. God Killer Sinner Sacrifice episodes are going to be going up. Very excited to share this 7-episode miniseries here at Tales Archive with Cyrus, my very dear friend Cyrus. Thanks to Alec, who is kindly putting it all together for us. And please come watch us. That's me.
Thank
Also,
you.
happy holidays.
Happy Hall of Days.
Oh, days.
Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou. I play Dolores. We both use she, her pronouns, and you can find me at most places on the internet at Lucelia_art or dash on Blue Sky.
Thank you. David.
Hello, everybody. My name is David, and I have been playing Whistle. And you can catch me here on Tales Archive in 2025 and some new projects. And then you can also catch me over at Stealthy Elf Productions, where I am the game master of several Pathfinder 2nd Edition games. That's me.
David, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Button.
Hello, I'm Button. My pronouns are they, them. I'm Bluebluebutton on social media. You can find me on this channel in a new project in 2025 when I'm not playing Echinacea Belrose here. And you can find me over on Stealthy Elf Productions in 2 campaigns, New World Rebellion and Unearthed Inheritance.
Thank you guys. name is Alec, pronouns are he, him. You can find me all places on the internet at Tales Archived. I've been your archivist for the evening. You can also find me here in the aforementioned January project. I produced God Killer Sinner Sacrifice. Check it out every Saturday at 5 p.m. EST. And you can find me over at Stealthy Elf Productions. Like Finn Reese and Voice in Wall. Hang out for our raid. Bye!
Goodbye.
Hello, Raiders. Thank you for coming in. Hold on tight. We are going to throw you guys into another raid. Absolutely. We're going to throw you into a raid chain. Thank you very much, Tino Tales. Appreciate seeing you here. Hang on tight. We'll throw you guys over to a raid in a second.